والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ثم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Inshallah ta'ala, in today's session, it's going to be a very strange program. I'm giving you the warning ahead of time. The way that I'm going to be conducting this program, I'll give you some introductory comments now so that everybody here is mentally prepared for what is coming. And then from there, inshallah ta'ala, hopefully I'll gauge, however the evening's progressing. But one thing I will tell you for sure, I'm not going to rush. So if I don't get to finish everything I intended to finish, I'm okay with that, but I won't rush through any of the material, okay? Now, the first thing I want to tell you is, inshallah, the intention of this evening is to discuss some of the aspects and some of the beauty of Suratul Fatiha. And I certainly would not say that tonight is a tafsir of Suratul Fatiha because that's too big of a project. As a matter of fact, like according to some ulama, the rest of the Quran is a tafsir of the Fatiha. So you can't really, and you'll notice if you're a student of tafsir and you study the books of scholars on the Quran, the longest tafsir of any surah is usually Fatiha. They take their time explaining virtually every ayah of the Fatiha and they see how it's connected to the rest of the Quran and so many heavy concepts in our deen. So we're certainly not going to be able to accomplish any of that tonight. But what I did want to do is highlight some of the aspects of the Fatiha that are very hard to appreciate in English. There are things that are easy to talk about when you translate the surah and everybody understands them. And then there are things that are discussed among the books of language and the books of grammar and the books of balagha and things like that, among the technical sciences of the Arabic language and of the explanation of the Quran. But for most people who don't know that technical stuff, it doesn't make any sense. It's really hard to understand. So my job tonight is to take some of those things and try to make them easy to understand. That's my job. My job is not to give you the technical information or to expect from you that you know a lot of things about the Arabic language. If you don't know anything about the Arabic language, it's okay. It's okay. That's my task. Now, the way I'm going to be doing this is going to be broken up into several parts. I can't even count anymore. But our first halaqa, our first session is going to be just Alhamdulillah. That's all we're going to talk about. And when we're done talking, maybe it takes me 10 minutes, maybe it takes me 30 minutes, I don't know yet. But when I'm done, I'm going to give you a break. For 1 minute, you can make new friends and new enemies. Just do that for 1 minute. Then we'll talk about Rabbil Alameen. Then what will I do? I'll give you a break. Make some more enemies. Then come back, then Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. You see what I'm saying? So I want to take each piece and give it its own session, right? If it's long or short, that doesn't matter. So I'm not giving you an official schedule of how this is going to go. And this way we'll try to cover as much of the Fatiha as we can, and some of these things that are overlooked, again, in translation, things that we don't normally get to appreciate, those are the things we're going to try to highlight, inshallah ta'ala. Now, the first comments about the Fatiha itself, and this will be the Alhamdulillah session, but before we do that, there is a discussion among scholars about whether the Fatiha begins with the words Alhamdulillah or it begins with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There is a debate about that. So some scholars are of the view that the first ayah of the Fatiha is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Other scholars say no, the first ayah of the Fatiha is what? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And both are legitimate views. There are lots of evidences on either side. I personally, just as a matter of being honest, I find it more convincing that the surah begins with Alhamdulillah. I find that more convincing, especially because of a famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in which the Prophet ﷺ told us what Allah says about the Fatiha. قَسَمْتُ الصَّلَاةَ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ عَبْدِي نِصْفَيْنِ. I divided the prayer between me and my slave into two halves. Allah says, and this is a hadith Qudsi, right? And when the hadith begins, فَنِصْفُهَا لِي وَنِصْفُهَا لِعَبْدِي, half of it is for me, half of it is for my slave. And then as the hadith goes on, it begins with Alhamdulillah. It doesn't begin with Bismillah, it begins with Alhamdulillah. So it seems to be an indication that Fatiha is, the official beginning is Alhamdulillah. But that's just what I personally find more convincing. You're entitled to your own position. So for that reason, I won't be starting with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'll be starting with what? Alhamdulillah. There's another reason that I can't start with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, because when you discuss Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, that takes 3 hours. So that should be a thing by itself. it's a project by itself, just discussing and understanding the beauty and the power of the words Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. But that's not something I'm going to dedicate this session to. This will be about the Fatiha or the rest of the Fatiha, if you will. Okay? So what's our first halaqah again? You guys tell me and you can speak out loud when I ask you something. What's our first session? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Now I'll ask you, how do you translate Alhamdulillah? Call it out. Praise to Allah, I've heard that before. What else? Any other suggestions for translation? You can call it out, don't be embarrassed, it's okay. I won't put the camera on you. Unless you want, I mean, if you want, I can do that and make you famous. Do that, but call it out. Praise to Allah. What else have you heard? Thanks belongs to Allah. Very good. You know, the first thing I want to share with you is that sometimes in Arabic, there's a word, and in English, you cannot translate it with one word. It's really, really hard, and sometimes it's impossible. Because this one word in Arabic means at least two things in English that are two very different things. As a matter of fact, hamd in Arabic means, if I was to try to make it easy, I would say it means praise and it means thanks. Two things at the same time. Praise and thanks. Now let's try to understand the difference between those two, because they're not the same. When you see a nice car drive by and you say, wow, nice car. What did you just do? You did praise. You don't pat the car and say, thank you, BMW. You don't do that. There's a difference. You praised it because it's beautiful, or it's got great performance, or you saw a sports game and you saw the athlete perform really well and you praise the athlete. You don't thank the athlete, you only praise them. There's a difference. Now, on the other hand, there's thanks. Like when someone does you a favor, you will do what? Thanks. It's a different context. And sometimes we praise without thanking. And sometimes we thank without praising. I'll give you an example of praise without thanking. You can praise a beautiful mountain, but you don't thank the mountain, you thank Allah. You praise the ocean and how beautiful it looks, but you're not going to thank the ocean. You understand? But on the other hand, what about if you thank someone, but you still don't what? You still don't praise them. Is that possible? Yeah, it actually is possible. And it happens. And I'll give you some examples from the Quran of when that happens. You have the case of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, by the way, whose house was he raised in? And it's kind of embarrassing to call it a house. It was kind of bigger than a house, but Fir'aun's. And Fir'aun raised him, fed him, educated him, protected him his entire life. Yes? And when he came back to Fir'aun, Fir'aun said, Alam nurabbika fina walida? Didn't we raise you as a newborn? And he reminded him of all the things he did for him. How can you talk to me like this? I did all of these things for you. So now Musa alayhi salam acknowledges, وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيَّ. That is in fact a favor you did for me. You did do me a big favor. When you tell someone you've done me a big favor, what have you just done? You thank them. But you will never find Musa alayhi salam doing what? That's impossible. So he's thanking him but not praising him. So praise and thanks are two different things, yes? I'll give you one more quick example. Allah says in the Quran that you have to be grateful to him, but he also says, Anishkur li wali walidayk. Right? Be grateful to me and to be grateful to both of your parents. Now let's talk a little bit about Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam has a father, and some argue uncle, but let's go with the father argument for a moment. Azar, who makes idols and is really upset with Ibrahim alayhi salam because he refuses to worship idols. Now he's his father, and we know that you have to be grateful to your parents, yes or no? Yeah, he's going to be grateful to his dad, but he certainly won't what? He can't praise what he does. He can't praise him. So the first point I want you to understand is that hamd means praise and thanks, and they go together in this one word, but we know that praise by itself is something else, and thanks by itself is something else. Now, if the Quran said, Al-madhu lillah, praise belongs to Allah, that would have been an okay translation, because